Hey y'all. Okay, so I'm having fun tearing into this motor, trying to thin it out so when I pull it off the frame and get it out of my way. Some of it I'm doing just so I can show you what's going on with it and curiosity and all that. But I want to show you what's probably the most frustrating thing about these motors. If you're trying to actually rebuild this motor, the most frustrating thing is this guy right here, the water distribution tube. It's a rusty little bastard that goes right from there all the way through. And when you take the water pump, this water pump off, and you take this water pump off, and you see where you got your little hole in the top and the crud and the sludge that's in there. It goes in here, you see the crud and sludge. You can see how this thing is just rotted out. And you rarely take it out in one piece. But it's just this oval shaped piece of metal tubing that goes through the whole length of it. And you'll probably take it out in about 40 to 50 little scrap metal pieces out of it. And it'll frustrate you. You can put a clothesline hook in there trying to hook it and pull it and all that kind of stuff, trying to get it all cleaned out and brushes and etc. There's a few articles on pilothouse.com on how to go after them and pictures of what they look like. I shot some stuff in there. I shot some penetrant in there to see what, if I can loosen it up. Pull it out tonight? I don't know, maybe. Not going to really worry about it. We'll see it happens. But anyway, I got to point that out because you're going to run into that, and you'll either overlook it or whatever, and it's going to cause problems if you don't take it out and replace it. I think Power Wagons, VintagePowerWagon.com has a replacement tube. I don't know if anybody else does. RobertsMotors.com, they might have a replacement. But anyway, it's probably the most frustrating thing that you can work on to get this motor up and running. So anyway, so I'd share that with you, and good luck if you decide to tackle it and get it out of there. All right. Okay, so this is probably what I consider part 2 of the water distribution tube. This is a piece of aluminum right here, this long thing. Again, this is my my attempt to pull it out. I decided I'm going to do it. This right here, this piece of aluminum here, kind of give you an idea. Here's the length of the motor right to there. So you can see how far that tube is going to go back. And I'll prove it to you. Here's the tube right here, which is hollow. So it's going right inside the tube there. I'll show you again. Like that. And full length there, so that tube goes all the way to the front to the back. And what I've done is I've knocked it in there a few times, and I took this screwdriver here and snuck it under here too, and I just kind of worked it loose. And I'm about ready to take this this piece of aluminum here. It actually comes out pretty easy. I just kind of trying to wiggle that tube inside the block, and it's going like that. Trying to get it to dance around a little bit and get loose, break it free. But I'm ready to put a barb on the end of that aluminum, just put a little notch on there, and see if I can hook the back of the tube and see if I can drag it out in one piece. If I take that in one piece, I'll consider that a huge victory. So just to show you the other thing I did, first I put this and I hammered this on the bottom. I figure since water is going to settle to the bottom, that's where all the rust is going to be. So I tap that in there, is just kind of broke the bottom free of this end, and just kind of worked it up. I'm not trying to get the screwdriver out. What I'm trying to do is force this upward. That's what I'm trying to do. The screwdriver comes out easy enough. If I wanted to, just hit it like that. Screwdriver comes out easy. But getting the screwdriver out is not the problem here. The problem is getting this out. So just getting it to move inside the hole. And I want it to come out in one piece. That's the victory, is getting it to come out in one piece, not break in half. So I'm going to go and try to put a barb on this piece of aluminum. I believe in one of the forums that was actually a suggestion. I think that's why it's sticking in the back of my mind why I want to do that. Not necessarily an original thought on my part. Anyway, that'll be the end of part 2. Thanks guys, bye. I cut a barb on the end. I probably have to grind it a little closer to the barb. It's probably a little too long on the end. The idea was just stick it in there, turn it just a little bit, grab the back of it and pull it. But of course, it'd have to be that far away from the end of the block for it to grab. But, interesting enough, by driving it in on the outside, let's see, I was trying to show where I did. Trying to get no shadows. Here's the tube. Right there, it's on the outside of the tube. And going on the other outside, I didn't get it very far. You know, maybe about 5 inches or so, maybe 6. Got tough. Whereas if I put it right in the middle of the tube and drive it all the way, it goes all the way up to here. At one time, I drove it in with the hammer, like so. I got it in there all the way to the back. And then I just stuck the hammer on this really hard, and it helped me pull it out. So, it's not in there very deep now. So anyway, it comes out. But, looky here. Now that it's starting to come out, so it makes me wonder if it's a newer one, if it's a replacement one. I'm not sure. It's hard to tell. It just doesn't look as rusty as the ones I've seen. Maybe this person took care of the motor. Sorry about that shadow. It's kind of hard to fight that shadow. And if I come underneath, but you can see it's coming out. I got this vice grip on it, and I hit this area right here with the hammer. Just tap on it, and it's slowly coming out. It's coming out now. I think it'll have it out in a second here. But just looking at it, it just seems to be a lot better shape than I would have expected it to be. So it might have been replaced. You know, maybe in the maybe 20 years ago, 10 years ago, 5. I have no idea. We picked up this truck a couple years ago. I'd say about 3 years ago we got this truck. But anyway, we'll see. I'll get it the rest of the way out and I'll show it to you. Alrighty. It's, I had this like this. I was holding this like that. Took my hammer and just wrapped it. Just tapped it. And it's just slowly started to pull this thing out. So the long bar I put in there was one way to this aluminum piece here. I can see now why they wanted this barb, because it would hook those holes. I knew those were there, but I wasn't even thinking about sticking it up into one of those holes. So this might have worked had I had this slope a little longer, so that it would actually rock up into one of those slots. But as it is, pulling this out like that, and it's the first time I've taken it all the way out. So it's pretty rusty and cruddy. But I'm used to seeing these things look pretty shoddy. I mean, coming out in a lot of pieces. So, like I said in that first video, they come out in like 40 different pieces. But in this case, I don't know. I guess if you take care of the engine, I mean, it might say a lot about what shape this engine's actually in. Our plan isn't to use this engine, but like I said, I don't throw anything away. So this is a 218 motor, and would I use this again? No. I'm gonna. This is something you replace. But interesting that it came out like that, all in one piece. So there you go, water distribution tube, all beat up at this end, a little distorted there from what I did. Should look like that. Goes the length of the motor. Okay, there you go. All right, good luck with that, guys.